Okay, guys, here we go. This is stem and leaf plots and histograms. This is pretty easy stuff, I think. So let's just dive in. If you have the sheet in front of you, which you should, if you want to take a minute, pause this, copy down the vocabulary, that would be great. So I'm going to leave that there. But of course, you can pause it. So I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to go right into example one. Let's turn that off. Okay, here's what we want to do today. And I'm going to have to adjust things as we go here because my resolution on my school computer is a little different at home. So they have this, for example, on the amounts in pounds of hay eaten by elephants in one day are listed below. Use a stem and leaf plot to display the data. Okay, so here's what we want to be able to do. We want to take all this data, these hundreds here, these in the 400s, and we want to make a stem and leaf plot out of them. All right, so here's what you do. I'm going to move this up just a little bit. We know what we're doing. So here's all the data, and what you do for a stem and leaf plot, if you think of a tree or you think of a plant, you have here's the ground, and here's a little stem coming out of the ground, and here's your happy little flower, and you have leaves that come off of that stem, right? And you got some roots down here. And so the stem and leaf plot, the reason why they call it that is because it's kind of like a plant, all right? You have the main stem and your leaves kind of branch off of it, okay? Well, over here, we've done the stem for you, all right? We've taken the first two numbers of these numbers up here and put them in order. So anything that is 390 something, we're going to take the last number, and that's going to be just listed right here. Okay, so I go up here. All of these are 400s. I've got this one is in 390, and this one is in the 390s. So I've already put the 3 and the 9 here. The only thing I have to add on to my plot are the leaves. All right, these are the last little parts that connect onto these stems. So all I have to do is put a 0 here and a 3 there. And I don't like the way that color is showing up. I'm going to change over to blue. Is that a little better? Yeah, I like the way that shows up better on top of this lighter blue, okay? So I've used these two, so I'm going to cross them out. Alrighty, and then I go to the next one up. The next one up after 39 is 40. So I scan my data up here, and I see what starts with 40, where there's one and there's one, and those are the only two. And I put them in order. Okay, this is 3 comes before a 9, so I just add a 3 and then a 9 right here. All right. So those are done. And really, there's no real trick to do this. You just cross them out as you go. So I'm looking for 4, 1. And so I've got this one and this one, and I've got this one, and that's it. So I'm going to add a 0 for that 410 up there, a 5 for that 415, and a 9 for that 419. I cross them out. Okay, and if you don't cross them out, it's going to be a mess. All right, you'll just get confused and you'll lose them. So that's why I cross them out as I go. I don't have any 4.2s, so I'm done with that one. Do I have any 4.3s? I don't have any 4.3s, but I have 4.4s right here and there and there. So I'm going to add those in. So I've got a 9 and an 8 and a 6. So I just come down here and I go 6 comes first. And I've got, what do I got? An 8 and I have a 9. Okay. Now if I have any repetition, like if I had 2 8s, I'd just put 2 8s down here. Okay, I'd have another 8 in between that 8 and that 9. So, all right, 5s are right there, and I've got a 0 and a 5, so I add it like that, and I cross these out. And then 6s, do I have any 6s? Yes, I do. I've got one there and one there. So I add a 0 for the 460 and a 5 again, so I cross those out, and I should have just 7s left. So it looks like I got 2 that have 9, so I just put a 9 and a 9. Okay, and that's it. I've got them all crossed out, so I've got it all listed there. Now this, actually, I went above and beyond. I already ordered them. Okay, I could have done an unordered plot where these aren't in order. but I could have done an ordered plot after that where these are in order. So I just kind of did it right off the bat. It's not too difficult. I guess it'd be more difficult if you had more numbers, you know. So, but we had like a maximum of 3 here, so no big deal. So, this I guess you could cross this out. Yeah, we could just put this. This is already ordered. Okay, I already ordered it. All right, so you wouldn't even have to fill that in. So that's the stem and leaf plot. There you go. All right, that's it. Hope you appreciated my picture over here. That's a very nice plant. So we're going to turn this off, and I'm going to jump over to checkpoint 1. Now, checkpoint 1 is not even as complicated as this. They want you to just put another point on there, and just say what's the relationship. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna put it on, and here's checkpoint 1. So let me move this up just a little bit. It says an elephant eats about 460 pounds of hay per day. How does this amount of hay the elephant eats compare to the amounts of example 1? Okay, so now when I copied this over here, you can see this would be the unordered plot. Okay, this is just the order in which they had them in the row up there back in example 1, and then these I put them in order. Okay, so we don't even have to look at this one really. It's just to show you an example of unordered versus ordered. So what they want you to do here, they just want you to put the elephant that has 460 on here. So all you would do is come down here and 46 and add a 0 in right here. If it's ordered, you'd want to squeeze it in before that 0 or right in between this 0 and that 5. That'd be fine too. Okay, so when they say compare, this is the whole idea. People say, well, what's a stem and leaf plot for? What's it good for? The whole idea of a stem and leaf plot, one of the things that it does is it enables you to compare data really quickly. Okay, and if you're looking at this one, you can say, well, wow, this elephant that eats 460 a day, it eats more than all of these guys. And that's very easy to see from this plot because everything up here, you can just say the elephant. Yeah, my writing is not going to be that great with this thing. The elephant eats more than, and you could even count them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then 12 of the other elephants. All right, so that would be a comparison that you could make to the others. Or you go the other way. You could say, well, look, it eats the similar to, or you could say it eats less than. You draw a little line right here and say 1, 2, 3. These 3 right here, it eats less than these 3 elements. So elements. Yeah, I'm doing chemistry now. Elephants. So really, that's what a stem and leaf plot does. It allows you to compare the data, like what is more than the other, or what is less than the other, or what is equal to the other, very quickly. All right. So that's the whole idea of a stem and leaf plot. Okay. So hopefully that's not too difficult. Let's go on to example 2 now. All right, example 2 is a little different. We have the ticket prices of a baseball game, all right, in recent years, or in a recent year, and they want me to make a frequency table. Okay, now if you think about the word frequency, frequency means how often something happens. How frequent do you go to the store, or how frequent do we have homework? That's every day. How frequent do you do something? All right. So when they want you to make a frequency table, first you're going to use this column called the tally column. All right. This is just a little check mark column, a little handy dandy check mark, and we'll do that in a minute. And then you convert these tallies into frequencies. So let's just jump in and do this. Here's all my data. Okay. And what is this? Is this the cost? The average ticket prices to $1. Yeah, I think that's kind of some old data because I'm thinking they cost more than that. We went to Cincinnati Reds a while back, and that was definitely more than that. So, okay, so first of all, you got to do is this is nice. They have this little solution checklist here. You got to choose your intervals. Okay, whenever you make a frequency chart, you choose intervals. So we looked at the lowest cost, which was $8. And the highest cost, which was 25. Where is it? Somewhere up here. Well, 24 was the highest, okay, right here. And we said, well, yeah, if you're going from 8 to 24, we're going to go every $3. So this is 8, 9, and 10 is going to be in here. 11, 12, and 13 is going to be in here. Okay, so that's the first thing when you do this, you make a histogram or a frequency chart. You want to come up with your interval. All right, and it's kind of dumb to say, oh, I'm going to have my interval from 8 to 25. I'm just going to get everything. That doesn't do us any good. So you want to pick an interval that makes sense. It's not going to have like 50 million points inside it. So we went every 3. That's where we got these, okay? And like I said, we had to look at the smallest to the largest, and if we went every 3 and started at 8, it would have a nice, 6 different intervals here. So here's what we do. Very easy. You just start at the first one and you go, okay, 23. I put a little tally mark right there because 23 is in this interval. All right, 24. I put another little tally mark right there, and you go right on down the line. Okay, and I'm actually going to pause it and do this. So, all right, and what I did is I jumped ahead and I filled in all of these. I didn't think you needed to watch me do that, but as I did it, I crossed off each one of these. Okay, those should have been crossed off before, but as I tallied each one, I crossed off these as I went. Okay, now all you do is then you take these tallies and notice, here's a little hint. When I get to 5, when I go like 1, 2, 3, 4, if I would have had one more here, I would put a diagonal line through it. That tells me these are groups of 5. So it makes it real easy to count. So I go up here and these are 4. I'm just going to turn these into regular old numbers here. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I put in a 9 there. This is a group of 5, so I just put in a 5, 5, 6, 7. I go 7 there. And that's 3 lines, and that's 2 lines. All right, so that's pretty easy. But make sure you go in order. You just go up here and you check them off as you go. But now we want to make a histogram, okay? That's going to be example 3. So I'm going to change screens here. So what I did is I just copied over the frequency chart. I got rid of the tally column because I don't need it anymore, okay? So I've got my intervals here and my frequency here, and I want to make a histogram, okay? And this is where you would use a piece of graph paper, okay? I don't have one on here. So I'm just going to make myself a graph like this. Of course, you guys are going to use calculators. You guys are going to use rulers. And here's all you do. You take your intervals and you put them right down here. And you kind of angle them a little bit. This is kind of tricky for me here. So you go 11 through 13 in there. And let's see, 14 to 16 goes right there. And 17 to 19 goes there. And the next interval is 20 to 22. And we have 23 to 25. Okay. So there's my intervals, and of course I'd have a piece of graph paper or something with lines on it. So I'd have these blocks so I could line these up, right in between the blocks so that when I go to make my bars, I can just use the bars on the graph paper. All right. So then over here, we're going to put the frequency, okay? And make sure you label everything. All right. Down here is the average ticket prices. All right, and that's going to be in dollars. I could just use that symbol right there. And over here is going to be the number of teams. All right, that charges this price. Okay, and then we're just going to put, well, if I could have 0. All right, and we're going to put little increments right here. This would be graph paper would really help here, okay? But we're trying to make do here. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and you can see how far you have to go. You have to go up to at least 9 over here. So we're going to go up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's good, okay? And it's a simple bar graph, okay? So from 8 to 10 we had 4. So I go up to 4. And a ruler would be nice, but I don't have one. And 11 to 13. Here's the thing with histograms, though, is the bars connect. So 11 through 13, we got to go up to 9. So I'm going to go right up to here. Again, graph paper would be awesome right now. You see I can draw a real straight line. Number 5, or number 14 to 16 would be 5. So this is nice. I can just go bloop, bloop. Okay. And 17 to 19, I have to go up to 7. So I'm going to go straight across. And then we get it on to 3. So that goes down to here. And, oh, that was really bad. Okay. And then 2 was right there. Okay. And there's my histogram. Make sure you put a title up here. Major League Baseball ticket prices. Okay. And you're done. All right.